guys, I'm back. After my last couple of videos, you all requested that I show you some things around my house. So I thought I'd start off by showing you our deck, and then I'll also show you some other things like our ramp in our garage. But the reason I want to start out here is because our ramp and our deck out here had to have a few more specifics just because of the length that it had to be ADA compliant. So basically, our deck is 6 feet high from the ground up. And so that basically means that it's 72 inches high. And so to be ADA compliant, that means that our ramp has to be 12 and a half inches long for every inch that it is tall. And so basically that means that we had to have a 75-foot long ramp total. And the other thing about that is that we also, one of the other rules is that for every 30 feet that the ramp is long, we have to have a landing or a turnaround. So I was going to kind of just show you what that'll look like when we get up to the first landing. But as you can see, going all the way up, but we actually decided to do handrails, and I can't quite remember if that was a requirement, but we just decided to do it because that's kind of what we needed it to have. So we have rails going all the way up, and then you'll see we kind of have flat spots here, we've got another flat spot there, and then we've got another level of ramp going up. So I will show you kind of the view from the top here in just a second, but while I'm down here, I also wanted to mention that you'll probably, hopefully you'll be able to see this in the video, but we have this concrete slab right here, and eventually we're gonna do paver stones that go all the way around the edge of our house that will lead to this side of our house where our driveway is. So that's something that we haven't done yet, but we will be planning to do in the future. So, all right, so we're gonna head on up this way. And you'll see, here's a flat spot here. Big turnaround here. And now I'm at the top. All right, now that I'm at the top of the ramp, I also wanted to point out a couple of things that are on our deck to get into our house from the backyard. And down on this end, it's pretty flat, so we really didn't do anything on that end, but that is one way that we can get into our home from our deck. And then this is the main door that we usually go into from our deck. And you'll notice that we have a ramp right here. We decided to make it to where our door opens out to make it easier for us to get in and out of the doorway up the ramp. And so that was just, it's kind of a personal preference. You can have it go pretty much whichever direction you're comfortable with, but it is just a little bit easier if you can just swing the door open and go in and not have to worry about it. See? Here's some of our fur babies. Watch out, buddy. Watch out. You better move. You better move. And there you go. And so this is the door that we use and they use to get in and out of the house. And another reason that we decided to put a ramp on this coming out of this door is because our bedroom is basically attached to this exit right here. And we really like that because it is kind of a safety thing. If something were to happen, a fire, or you needed to get out, it's good to have an exit attached to your bedroom to get out safely. And so I guess from here, I'm going to just show you some of the other things that we've had done. I'm going to show you our other ramp that we have in our garage, as well as some other things within the house, like our closet, our bathroom, and just a couple of other things that we've had done to make it a little bit more accessible for us. Alright guys, now we're in our master bathroom, and I just kind of wanted to show you some of the things that we had to have done in order to be eligible for the adaptive housing grant for disabled veterans. And so there's a few things in the bathroom that we were very specific that we had to have done to follow their guidelines for ADA compliance. But so we had to have space to get up to the toilet, and that's basically so you can transfer on and off the toilet safely. And we also have a grab bar right here that we can hang on to. That helps for transfers as well. It's a safety thing with grab bars. And then we also had to have a 5x5 turnaround space in the bathroom itself. So we needed just enough room to maneuver around in the bathroom itself. And then, and this is probably one of the biggest projects we had to have done in order to be eligible, but we had to have a 4x4 roll-in shower. And so you may not be able to quite tell, but our flooring in our shower is slanted just a little bit, and so that allows the water to drain into the drain properly, so you don't have standing water. And you'll notice we also have a grab bar here, and then we have our towel for easy access there. And actually, while I'm in here, I was planning on addressing this in a different video, but since we're already here, I'll go ahead and talk about it now. You'll notice that we have this bench in here, and this is it's a shower chair, since we can't stand, and we don't have a tub in here. That was one of the things that we did end up getting rid of in order to follow the rules for the adaptive housing grant itself. So we don't have a tub in here, and we still need somewhere to shower safely. So we have the shower chair. And one thing, the reason I wanted to point this out, there are a lot of different versions out there, and I actually think that we got this one from a medical supply company. Personally, I think insurance covered it. So that might be something you can check with your insurance to see if they can help you out with things like this. But one thing to consider is which side the handle is on. If there is a handle on your shower chair, you have to consider positioning of where it is in the shower, because if that bar is on this side, then how are you going to get into it? So you either have to turn your chair, or maybe flip it all the way around and have your back away from the shower itself. And I also wanted to point out, we actually have non-slip tile in here. Again, it's a safety thing. And we also have, and I'm just gonna hop out here so I can show it to you a little bit easier. But we have this right here. And it actually can be adjusted. It can be adjusted up or down. So anybody else can still take a shower. That thing slides up and down. We generally just keep it loose down here, but we also can hook it there. It's kind of a preference thing, since nobody else really uses our shower. It's just easier to leave it off. And like I said, if you noticed when I got in, if this bar was here on this side, I wouldn't have been able to get past it. So that's just something to consider when you are looking at shower chairs or need a shower chair or whatever. There's one more thing I want to show you now that I'm thinking about it. And you'll see grab bars are super, super handy. But one more thing I wanted to show you are our mirrors. And hopefully you can get a good shot of this. But you'll notice that, kind of short. I'm short in general, but I've got a mirror here, and I've also got a full-length mirror here. One thing though that you can do if you run into that issue, and it's something that we plan to do later on, is that we're going to get special brackets that will help the mirrors angle down, so you'll get a little bit more of a full view. So again, those are just other little small things that you can have done that can kind of help your space be a little bit more accessible. There's one more big project that we had to have done. And so since we had to kind of remodel this room, we ended up actually taking carpet out of our bedroom, and we went ahead and remodeled our closet, because originally our toilet was actually where our closet is now. And again, our shower was a garden tub, and our shower was where our toilet is now. So So we pretty much rearranged the entire bathroom and remodeled the whole thing. And one thing that we did that actually really helped us out a lot is, hopefully you can tell, but one thing we have is we have lights that you don't have to flip a switch to operate them. We roll in and they're motion sensor. And that's actually just kind of it's not necessarily an accessibility thing, but it is kind of a nice little thing to have. But the main thing I wanted to show you was the level that my shelves are at. And basically, standard ones are higher, and so you might not be able to reach the top shelf. And so since we had to remodel anyway, we went ahead and had our shelves lowered, so they're easily accessible, and then we still have room to stack other clothes and suitcases or whatever on top. So again, that was just something else that we had done that really helped kind of our quality of life and functionality and everything. And so I just wanted to show you on that too. All right, so now we're in my kitchen. And I know you all requested for me to do a cooking video, but I'm not quite ready to do one, only because there are some more modifications that we are planning to do, but I also feel like I should point out what modifications we are planning to do so I can help you understand why I'm not doing a cooking video right now. Because my whole goal in all of these videos is to show you all that just because you have a disability or just because you're in a wheelchair doesn't mean that you can't do things like everybody else. And so, you know, there's always going to be adaptations, and I can still cook in my kitchen. It is functional, but there are just things that, you know, we plan to make it even more functional and even better. And you'll notice, again, I don't want to get into the whole cooking aspect of it, but I just want to show you kind of what I'm talking about when I say that we are going to be doing more modifications. And so, for instance, you'll notice right here, I have a double oven. And I can reach the buttons, they're a little bit high, but I only use the bottom of the two ovens just because of safety. And again, I plan to tell you all about some of the adaptive things that I use in my home when I do cook, because there are a lot of little things that aren't necessarily designed for people with in wheelchairs or people with disabilities, but that do help. But anyway, so you'll see that you see the double oven, and again, we're gonna have this redone and put some more cabinets or shelving where the top oven is right now. And then also I wanted to show you just kind of the height of where my cabinets are right now. And you'll notice they're pretty high, and I can't really reach all the way up here. And so one thing that we're planning to do is to get pull down shelves. So that'll make it easier for us to access all of our shelving in all of our cabinets. So again, I really wanted to hold off before I go into all of that. But I did want to at least address why I'm not doing a cooking video quite yet. But anyway, that's honestly though, other than some of the gadgets that I'll show you later, really the pull down shelving and the oven are about the only things that we plan to change, because everything else, like the countertops, are a good height. You know, we've got a really flat, you know, electric stove, so we're not having to reach across a flame, you know, with a gas stove or whatever. And then also, the only other thing I really have here is, I wasn't sure how I felt about the microwave oven at first. But actually, it's kind of nice when you put a plate of hot food. You can kind of sit it there, and you know, maybe grab a oven mitt or something to help you place it, you know, safely from the microwave to your lap or to the table or whatever, or counter. And so that's one thing that it took a little bit of time for me to get used to, but it's not so bad. And again, there's always ways to do all of this in a safe way. I will be showing you some new stuff that you might not have thought of that you can use to make things a little bit easier to cook with. So, all right, so next we're gonna go out to the garage, and I'm gonna show you our other ramp, because we did do a couple of little special things to make it a little bit more functional for us. And so I really just want to give you guys an idea of just the different things you can do, because they aren't all necessarily ADA rules. They're not necessarily something that the ADA has written out that says, hey, this is a really good solution for your accessibility needs, because we all have such unique accessibility needs. And honestly, what works for me might not work for you, but I at least wanted to use these videos as an opportunity to show you that you can live a normal life. You can cook, you can clean, you know, you can have a really nice home. All right, so now we're in our garage. And I just kind of wanted to show you what we did a little bit different. It's more than just a little standard ramp. And in fact, actually this one is a little bit steeper than ADA compliant. We paid for it out of pocket because it wasn't ADA standard. We just didn't really have the room for the length of ramp that we needed to be ADA compliant. But what we did do is we put these handrails in to help us with the fact that it is a little bit steeper than normal. And Miss Lily wanted to join us for this one, so she's just gonna hang out right here. But really, again, you'll notice that this one it's a little bit smaller of a turnaround, but there is still enough room to get around without running into the rails there. But so I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna show you one of the things that we had added. It's a little bit extra beyond just a typical ramp. In our last house, we actually had a doggy door that was at the end of our ramp. So our dogs, we could just slide a little door open and let them into the backyard, but we can shut the door closed so they can stay in the backyard and wouldn't be walking a ramp. But for this one, it was a little bit different because it only goes into the garage. We didn't really need that. But we did want to do something that makes it a little bit more convenient for loading and unloading groceries or bags or, you know, whatever, you know, you've gone to the store and you've got a whole bunch of bags and it's hard to maybe push up the ramp with a whole bunch of stuff in your lap. So what we did is we've got this little door right here, and we've got just a little latch, and it opens up, and we can take our bags and sit it right here. And so back here, and then you can shut the door, and then you can go back up to the top of the ramp, and all of your stuff is there. So that was really just one little thing that we did that isn't necessarily typical. And again, I don't know, it might be hard to tell in this video, but we actually have a little bit wider rails. And that's also just so if we wanted to stick something up here that we didn't want to necessarily carry, or maybe it's a little bit too big to sit on the platform itself, we at least have a wider railing to sit stuff on top of that as well. Alright, so I think Lily's done, so I think that means that our video's done too for the day. But hopefully you guys got a better idea of some of the things that you can do to help address your accessibility needs. Be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and if you have any more requests like this, feel free to shoot me a message or leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anything. You know, I try to help you guys in any way that I can think might be useful, but sometimes I don't think of all of it. So let me know. Yeah, thanks.